Anamorphic on a budget. Is there such a thing? I hope I'm recording this right. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about anamorphic or fake anamorphic. More specifically, we're going to be talking about this product right here, which is the SLR Magic Anamorphot, and how it does or how it pairs up with something like the RED Komodo. First of all, what is this thing? What is the SLR Magic Anamorphot? Well, it's a, as you can see here, it's a screw-on adapter that goes on your lens and it squeezes your image. This one in particular is a 1.33 squeeze, and it's supposed to give you all these anamorphic qualities that your regular lens didn't have before. Why would anyone buy this? We all know that shooting anamorphic is something that is very desired. We see a lot of movies, music videos, and it just looks cool. At least for me, it's something that I wanted to implement in the work that I do. And I started looking around at, my possibilities. Obviously the best choice is to actually have real anamorphic lenses. But let's face it, we don't all have the budget to actually buy those types of lenses. At most we can rent them for certain occasions or jobs. But what if you want to own? Well, there's some options out there like the series lenses and the Evasons. It wasn't really something I wanted to invest in because I wasn't sure how often I was going to use anamorphic in my work. So then I landed on this. It gives you some type of anamorphic look. Let's take a look at some footage and talk about it afterward. So what are my experiences with this? For what it is, it's not bad. Is it perfect? Obviously not. Is it anamorphic? I'm gonna go ahead and say no. This is not a true anamorphic, obviously. It lacks a lot of the qualities that a real anamorphic lens would give you. But is it different? Yes. Is it worth the money? I mean, for the price of this thing, I'm gonna say yes. I think I paid less than like 400 bucks for this. I wasn't expecting it to be like a Coke anamorphic and have all these amazing qualities for anamorphic. I knew going into this that it was gonna just be different, but I did enjoy using it. I think it gives you a different type of image and a different type of quality because it also piggybacks off the quality of the lens that you put it on. It kind of softens the image a little bit in the corners, and it just gives you a different type of look and feel to the footage. The thing with this is that, and it says it right here on the box, it's a 1.33x by 50. I don't know if you can see that, but it says 1.33x by 50. That means that the front element of your lens has to be 50 millimeters in order for this glass, the back of this glass right here, not to vignette, because they have to pair up in order for the whole thing to work. Should you put this on a RED Komodo? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there wondering why I'm putting such a weird and cheap solution on such an expensive camera. So why did I get this? I got this because I wanted to dip my toes into anamorphic and see if it was something I wanted to do or implement into my work. I think it's an okay product for the price. Let's keep in mind that this is not going to compete with a true anamorphic lens. So I guess that if you're looking for something to kind of change up your image and give you something a little bit different, a little bit unique, something that carries over some character and that has a little bit of that anamorphic DNA, I think that something like this works on a pinch. If you're actually looking for an anamorphic solution, this is probably not for you. This is not good enough for that. Like I said, it's lacking a lot of the qualities that a real anamorphic lens would have. Not going to be as sharp because there's so much glass in between. You're adding a lot of glass. The bokeh is pretty much not there, and the flare is not even that great. It's different, it's slightly anamorphic, but it's not a wow factor. You might be looking at this and thinking like, man, that sucks, that's not even good. But for what this costs, And for what it is, I think it's a pretty nifty and fun thing that I could just have in my bag and just whip it out from time to time and do something that's slightly different than shooting a spherical. It has two settings on it. It has a normal setting, and you can spin this wheel and you can go to the near setting. The near setting is for subjects that are within a few feet, and the normal setting is for whatever those few feet are and above. Another thing with this is that if you are going to shoot with it, that you can't shoot with this below 2.8. Something about all the focusing and all the glass and stuff, it won't allow you to focus properly. And I tested this out shooting it at 1.5, and I was able to grab focus, but it was very difficult, and it wasn't even in perfect focus. And actually around f4 was like the sweet spot for it to grab perfect focus. I think that one of the greatest things about this little device is that you can actually mount it on autofocus lenses and have anamorphic but autofocus. And I think that's pretty clutch. I think that's super cool. I think that's one of the greatest things about this, and one of the biggest reasons why I'm gonna keep it. It's because I can throw this on this little guy right here. This is a autofocus Canon 28mm 1.8, and I actually tested this out, and you can go from one subject to the other, and it's gonna keep the focus just as any regular lens would. And granted, the autofocus on the RED Komodo is not the best autofocus in the market, but it does well. And the fact that I could do it in anamorphic, that's pretty huge. This does have a 77mm front thread, so you can put and stack filters on it, and I actually had my variable ND filter screwed onto this when I was doing the exterior shots, and it works as it should. So final thoughts on this little thing. I think it's okay. Comes in at a good price. You get some anamorphic qualities. To me, the best thing about it is the ability to have autofocus on anamorphic, which is pretty cool. And there you have it. Would I recommend this to anyone? I think you have to make your own choice on that. For me, I'm gonna keep it in my bag. So yeah, and that's my honest opinion on this. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you on the next one.